There's one piece of equipment that has completely changed the rankings for Great Rift. It's on Tressa, the Chains of Obsession. When using attack cards, you take 1% of your HP as damage, and then you also get 60% fixed shield. And this is a very hard piece of equipment to get, but if you take a look at the rankings, if you look down here, not everybody is using it. This person doesn't have it yet, and this is for top 100. There's quite a few people down here who don't have it. This person does have it, and then this person doesn't. But this just means that if you do get this piece of equipment, the amount that it jumps your score by is such a ridiculous amount, especially considering that you can use much easier to farm like sets on these other characters. Mika and Cassius can both be farmed in Laboratory Zero, which is a lot faster than Zero System. Like, you don't even need the glorious resistances here. And this just means that you're pretty much guaranteed Master. Master is top 1%. I think if you manage to get Chains of Obsession on your Tressa with even 2 Shadow Reloads, you're going to be set. There's a bunch of people here who like just don't have that many Shadow Reloads on their Tressa. I don't know exactly where he is, but there's somebody up here with like only 2. Let's talk about how to get Chains of Obsession. It's from a couple of Chaos Worlds. We're gonna go to... you should farm in Zero System for the higher tier save datas, but let's take a look at where it drops. So there's technically 3 worlds that it drops from, but realistically you're only gonna be farming 1. The 3 worlds are the Blue Pot. If you go to the exploration, you can see the equipment here. And it's down here, Chains of Obsession. It also drops from Twin Star Shadow, which will be over here. And then lastly, it also drops from the Foretold Ruin. And the reason for this is because this is an elite drop. It's tied specifically to a certain class of monsters, which is the Chaos Order monsters. And all 3 of these have Chaos Order, but the big distinction between them is that it's the way that the game hands out these elite equipments to you. So pretty much when you go into fights, there's different types of enemies. Here we can see the elites, and these are Chaos Order elite enemies, compared to mutant elite enemies, which is... this is a common. The elite, elite, elite. And these are mutant. This means that when you're fighting the monsters, or the elites in Twin Star Shadow, the Blue Pot, and Foretold Ruin, you're only going to see it if you're fighting elite monsters. Now, fighting elites, or fighting Chaos Order elites, fighting elites isn't the only way to get this item though, because you can also get them from doing events. When you enter into an event, some of the events will give you options to either give you a rare to legendary random piece of gear, or just a random legendary piece of gear, and these can pull from the elite item table. However, the events will only give you elite items related to that specific category, so since the Blue Pot has a lot of Chaos Order stuff, you're going to be getting Chaos Order elite items potentially. This does also mean that the other 2 worlds, is why I said there's technically only really 1, Twin Star Shadow and Foretold Ruin. The Twin Star Shadow, all the events are Invader events, so you can't get the Chains of Obsession from any events there. Foretold Ruin, it's all Dialos events, so you're not going to be able to get it from there either. Now, this means that you're only going to be able to get them from elite drops, or elite bosses, rather, which there's 4 Chaos Order elites, but these 2 are exterior elites, and these 2 are interior elites, so odds are you're going to be getting it from either the Trapper or the 7 Arms, and your elites can either be, of course, either Chaos Order or Dialos, and if you go to an elite tile and it's Dialos, it's a dead tile pretty much. Which is why I would say don't bother farming in Twin Star Shadow or Foretold Ruin. Odds are you're going to see it in the Blue Pot. So let's talk about what you should be doing during your run, pretty much. I mean, for your setup, it's just the classic Tressa, Veronica, Mika. Veronica and Mika letting you thin your deck a ton. This boss is a problem. It's just the way that the Soul Collector works doesn't synergize very well with Tressa. Tressa wants to play a lot of cards, and Soul Collector does not like it when you play your cards. Also, Soul Collector ideally has you pass your first turn. You can't do that with this team because at the very least you need to play Veronica's Ballista. There's also the issue of the ads being immune. They're immortal, rather, or they're invincible is the word, until you kill the leftmost one. If you don't have E2, then you can't select which one you're targeting, though Giant Ballista on Veronica does work as basically a budget E2. And then there's the whole Tressa issue, so you're going to have not a great time fighting this thing. It's a bit counterintuitive, but I do recommend picking up Wanderer of the Void if you find yourself struggling. This neutral card is very good against this boss. If you can at least survive until it appears, it'll give you a much better chance of just dumping all of your damage in a single turn into it. And it will, of course, reduce the chance that you're able to copy your 4th copy of Shadow Dagger. However, if you die to the boss, that's a 0% chance, so I pick it up every single time, at least 1 copy. Now let's take a look at the run itself and what we should be doing during the run. It's just going to be a quick overview. I'm not going to do a full run or anything. So once we're inside, I mean, it's your usual stuff. Let's just remove a card. And then we're going to pick up our fate. Heart Epiphany, sure. These fates technically don't matter too much. I'm actually not sure whether the rare unidentified areas helped at all with the, like, what is it? With getting legendary equipment more frequently. Because it doesn't really matter though. Honestly, the credits are probably better. So when you're here, the main thing you should be targeting is event tiles. Of course, this is regular Chaos, not Zero system, but when you're doing this, you of course want to target the Dimensional Tunnel as well. Let's just pretend it appears like over here. You want to target the Dimensional Tunnel as well to get some Forced Epiphanies onto your Shadow reload before you make it over to the boss. And you're aiming for events, shops to remove more cards, and the Dimensional Tunnel are pretty much the 3 main things. Especially in the exterior, you don't have to worry too much about what... you don't have to really bother with the elite tiles, rather, because the elite tiles, odds are they're not going to give you a legendary piece. It's usually rare pieces in the exterior. So mainly focus on, again, shops, event tiles in general, and hope you get the rare to legendary things, and also just later on in interior, the elites and Dimensional Tunnel, and exterior and interior, skip Dimensional Tunnel. Now a couple of tips about what you should be doing. I'm gonna make my way over to here and we're gonna talk about these elite tiles real quick. When you go to an elite tile, you can actually tell which kind of enemy you're going to be fighting, which category rather. This icon is for mutant, which means that these are both useless. It's exterior, so it doesn't matter in the first place, but in the interior, you might end up in a situation where you have to pick between 2 elite tiles, or you have an elite tile versus a event, and you might want to, like, consider which one you want to go to. So this is for mutant, and here are the 2 icons for Chaos Order. Both of these lead to Chaos Order, so either one of these will work fine. And this is just a quick little thing so that when you're making your path outside, you don't go to the wrong tile and waste your time fighting a mutant instead of a Chaos Order enemy. Here, if you walk into an event and you see an option for a random rare to legendary equipment, you pretty much always want to pick this, and with good enough RNG, you might end up getting what you need, like this. Okay, I'm kind of mad that I got this RNG on a run that I did a quick run through, but here's Chains of Obsession. This is a low-level chaos where I don't really need it, but hey, this is, I guess, this is one way that you can get the gear. I think I got it off the exact same event the last time I did this too. Maybe this is the one, but yeah, this is one of the ways you can get the Chains of Obsession equipment. Lastly is something that's probably not really going to happen in the shop. It's more so just when you're doing events and you get the wrong legendary item. We're not sure exactly how, when it like gives you a random rare to legendary item, how it picks them, but assuming that they all just draw from the same pool, then potentially padding out your like inventory with more legendary items could help make it a bit more likely for you to get your piece. This is, again, assuming that all legendaries are grouped together, and it just combines the pool of generic legendaries with, I guess, elite-specific legendaries together when it picks for the events. If it decides whether it's legendary, or if it decides whether it's a generic or elite-specific first, and then it picks from the pool, then it would only work if you decided to hold on to elite-specific ones, so I would at least hold on to those. Unless you like desperately need to sell them for credits or something. Realistically, during a run, you're not going to be able to buy legendaries from shop because you probably need all of your credits for card removals, but that is something that might potentially be useful for thinning out the pool. We're just not exactly 100% sure how it works. And that's it for everything about Chains of Obsession. Good luck getting this piece. Not only do you need a pretty rare elite-specific legendary item, you also need to, of course, hit your Shadow Dagger Epiphanies and then get the 4 copies, though if you have Veronica plus Mika, getting the copies honestly isn't that hard. And then the hard part is really just getting the item itself. The other problem is, of course, when you're farming Zero System, you can't actually exit unless you want to spend another 72,000 credits. You're going to run out of Chaos Orbs super fast too, so hopefully there's some sort of QOL to bring Zero System more in line with the way the seasonal Chaos works soon, and hopefully before the season ends, and hopefully tomorrow so I don't have to refarm my Tressa. But yeah, good luck to anybody going for this. You probably don't like 100%, you definitely don't 100% need this to make it to Master. I think just a solid general deck works fine, but if you want to guarantee top 1%, I'm pretty sure if you get this equipment, you'll be here no problem.